Fools, Mad is United, your favorite Eurovision channel, and we always talk about, as I said, about Eurovision here, but today we're actually going to focus on something else, and it's called the American Song Contest. And it was mentioned before, especially during our time in Tel Aviv for Eurovision 2019, that they are working on an American version for the contest that we all just love so very much, and we have a few more updates, and I'd like to share them with you. So the first thing, of course, what we call it, the American Song Contest. I assume they're going to call it ASC. I don't know. It's coming to America apparently next year, the holiday season. So December, November, something like that of next year. So it seems like a long time, but I don't think it's going to be. So super exciting to hear that. Hopefully this will all stay the way it is and no further delays, because that's always possible. But let's talk about the whole premise and what's going to happen, or what the idea is behind the contest. It'll stay quite similar to the original Eurovision Song Contest. As far as like we have musical artists taking part, can be solo singers, duos, a band, up to 6 members, the same role that we have here at Eurovision as well. And from each state in the United States, there are 50 of them. So that means potentially up to 50 new songs per edition if all states are taking part. What? To me, that's exciting. I don't know, that's a lot of music, but we shall see how that's going to pan out. Now, the format, the way it's being envisioned right now, will position the artists head-to-head against other states' representatives in a series of qualifier competitions, like battle, I guess. They will be televised, that is very important, and that will lead to a semi-final and then ultimately the grand final. And whether or not they're going to keep a similar system as we have with like the Got Talent shows, where they have like semi-finals and finals, I think they're trying to maybe copy that a little, but certainly with the Eurovision flavor. Apparently the company Propagate Content will create the song contest. And that's a group consisting of music professionals based in the US that represents all genres and backgrounds, from which juries of artists and music industry notables, who along with the regional audience will select top talent from all 50 states to compete. So what does it mean? From what I'm hearing, it's not going to be like what we have a lot happening here at Eurovision, that they're going to have like a televised national final only for people from Montana. They're going to have like that particular Propagate Content kind of pick the artists and the criteria. Do you have to live in that state, or is that irrelevant? We don't know all of those details just yet. And Krista Bjorkman, he is the producer of the contest, and in case you don't know who that is, he is also producer of currently of Melodifestivalen, the Swedish national final. He has been involved in multiple Eurovision Song Contest shows this past decade, so he's always being pulled in. He has or had a lot of sway. He also represented Sweden in 1992 and didn't do too hot, but anyway, he still did it. So he has a lot of experience, and he said to have a chance to use everything you know about the format and redo it from the beginning, and to bring it to an audience that has no history with it, is such a privilege. And I get it, I get it. He is a fan of the contest, just like me, and if I had this opportunity, I'd be like, what? You gotta admit. Another person involved is Ben Silverman. He serves as an executive producer, and he has experience bringing shows from Europe to the American screen, including The Office, Big Brother, and The Weakest Link, among others. So he says that actually bringing Eurovision to America is probably the most difficult challenge that he had so far. So he said, I've spent 20 years trying to pursue this. When I was a chairman of NBC, when I was an agent at William Morris, and when I started at Reveal, I don't know. I just love the format. So we certainly have a supporter, a proponent there in him, which is great. And he has had success bringing shows to America that were catered initially to a European audience. It is very exciting. I think we all, well, not all of us, but a lot of us can agree with that. I also want to just mention what Ben Silverman added, and that is a very important factor about the unifying power that the contest has here in Europe, and their hope to kind of recreate that here in the United States. And it's not better time, because you know, these are very interesting times, not just in the world, but especially here in the United States. He says, when America is more fractionalized than ever, and we are dealing with so many issues that divides us, the one thing that truly unites us is our culture. It can unite it by celebrating its diversity, its distinctions, and in pulling everyone around its love in music and its love of song. And Mr. Bjorkman says at the end, it's a competition where you root for your home state and your hometown, and there isn't another show out there that does that. So, as you can see, concrete plans. We have a date, not a date, but a time frame at least, late next year, late 2021, and that they already have a vision on how this is coming together. There's still a lot of work and details that need to be kind of put forward, but this is already good information that I wanted to share with you. And if you want to hear my opinion, I was never opposed to the concept of America Vision, because I was opposed for the United States to take part in Eurovision, which has been like a possibility apparently. I was like, no, let's not do that. But having a separate contest, I don't see any issues with that, and the more music, the better, right? And I think Eurovision is such a wonderful concept. Why not spread it around the world, as long as it's not all just smushed together, if that makes any sense. The question is, will a concept, a show like Eurovision work in the United States? Different culture, different people. People in Europe, virtually everyone, unless you're over the age of 70, grew up with it. But even those people, everyone, almost everyone that lives in Europe right now grew up with the Eurovision Song Contest. It's part of our heritage almost. It's part of our history by now, and everyone knows it. Not everyone may love it. A lot of people may hate it, but they know about it. So in America, that's clearly not the case. So you have to start from scratch. That is a very, very difficult task, especially in this decade, this millennium, where there are 5 million TV channels with a gazillion different shows, and people can just pick and choose whatever they want. How can a show like this really make a difference? How can it stand out? That is my biggest concern. And I'm worried that they mess it up, because maybe they don't understand Europe. Maybe they don't understand European and the essence of what the contest is. That is my concern. And I think it's a fair thing that they butcher it. I'm nervous. I'm not, maybe because I want it to work so badly that I'm just being very pessimistic, or maybe I'm being realistic. I don't know. I'm also trying to, I've lived in the United States for a long time now. In case you don't know, I was born in Europe, but I spent my adult life here in the United States. And it is, I don't know how to explain it. Unless you're like from Texas, we don't necessarily always identify based on what state we live in. Some states more than others, but it's certainly not like living in your own country. First and foremost, people refer to themselves as Americans. Unless you're from the great state of Texas, as I said, then you're very proud to be from there. And some other states, you have a certain amount of pride, but I don't necessarily think they're just a big, like, I'm from North Dakota and I'm from South Dakota. Yes, there will be some difference, I get it, but it is not as prominent and powerful as it is like with countries. Do we care that the singer is from Montana or is it from California? Do we really going to root for that? California in particular, because we are the hub when it comes to music around the world, the biggest world markets. All the big singers come from here, right? Or make it big here. So if we have someone like in the running, it's like, yeah, whatever, California, we have all the music. Who cares? I could be wrong, but that is just my fear, that people will not quite have that connection with their home state when it comes to this. But maybe I'm being proven wrong. It's just, my experience here in the United States. And for that reason, I'm hesitant. I don't know how this will resonate with the average person here in the United States, but it's just because it is such a concept that has never been tried anywhere else, really. Well, it's not true that I tried like some Asia stuff there, but you get my point. Certainly not in this part of the world. So it is just such a big unknown, a big question mark. I have no idea how people will respond to it. I hope for the best. I'm being optimistic, but no, I'm not optimistic. I'm lying. I'm realistic. Maybe I'm more pessimistic, actually. I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's hard. I don't know. Maybe I'm just preparing myself for the worst. They're going to do one edition, it's going to flop, and it's done. So then at least I'm mentally prepared. But I want this to work. I really want this to work. And maybe having the movie out there, the Eurovision movie that was released just like, what, a month ago or something like that, on Netflix with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams, maybe this definitely, I can confirm a lot of people watched that movie and learned for the first time about the contest. And the movie was actually quite popular here and got fairly good reviews, not necessarily from the critics, but from the fans. So that is maybe going to help a little. I don't know. I'm hopeful. Anything that'll help, that would be fantastic. But those are the information we have right now, as well as my personal opinion. What do you guys think? Are you excited about this? Are you not on board with this concept? Leave your thoughts below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more news. Subscribe because I would appreciate that. And I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.